Hi there, and welcome along to AfterEffects tutorials. In the last video we have created our first little dramatic animated scene, and that was using the camera, so we can see that there is an appearance of depth here, so there's things are coming forward and going back. That isn't in fact us animating the objects themselves, but it's actually the camera that's animating the position of the camera. And that looks very good. We're kind of happy with that. It's sort of, it's getting the effects that we're after. We want to take a little bit further now, and what I'm going to do here is just stop my camera, close this up, and I'm going to lock my camera. Actually, I'm just going to hide my camera so I can see from the front. What I'm going to do now is create a new layer, and we're going to create a new layer that's a light, and the light is what we're after. So I can fiddle with any different kind of light I've got parallels, points, spots and ambience, and you can certainly experiment with some of those, and I can change the intensity of the light, the cone angle, feathering. I like a bit of a feathered edge to my light, and other things. Shadows, yes, generally if you want shadows to be kind of dark. Diffusion of shadows, you can play with that. I'm just going to give it a little bit there, but this is not essential. This is just to illustrate there are options with everything. So I'm going to say OK to that. Yes, I do want to cast shadows though, so I'm going to say OK. And my light will instantly come on, so it's everything outside of my cone of light will be black. That's sort of how she works. So with my light, and best, as we say, is to, when you're in this particular kind of workflow, you want to be looking at two views. Well, at least I do. I like to be able to see what's going on. So I can get my camera and I have my light. So my new light is here. So like we did with the camera, we can move this camera, or this light I should say, and animate it across the screen like that. So it's really very dramatic, and we can get some very good looks with this. So I'm just going to, I might just pull back a little bit, like so, and maybe round off. So I'm going to animate this. Like everything in After Effects, I can animate stuff. So I like to just click and drag with the animation. You can transform via your numerical options here, but if you like to do things visually, perhaps like me, it's probably a good idea to, well, there's two options. Okay, so I'm going to go with my position, and my first position is way off to the side here, and off screen everything's kind of black, and I'm going to go right to the end of my comp here, and I'm going to move my shadow and run it off to the edge here, and that looks pretty nice. Okay, so what should it look like? Having a look at that. Maybe it could be a bit closer, couldn't it? So let's maybe bring that in there just for a second or two. Right at this stage, yeah, so it's just a little bit more visually arresting. Okay, pretty good. So I'm off to the side, hitting spacebar. Yep, that'll do, that's not too bad. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just do so we can do a little bit more with this. I'm going to ask that we can create a few shadows. What good would light be without dark? So we're going to ask that we create shadows. So first thing we're going to do is get our two text pieces, our things that will cast the shadow. So the two pieces of text will cast the shadow. So I'm going to try to do them both at once. And I'm looking at material options. Material options is what I'm looking to change here. And the cast shadows currently is off. Let's turn that on, and I can see immediately that cast shadows are going to be apparent. Now I can diffuse my light a little bit at this stage. I think I'm going to keep it at 100%. And look, let's just check that out now. Yeah, so that's a little bit more dramatic. So the light, or the shadow, is working with the light. Okay, so I can fiddle with this a lot more, but let's just go ahead and see what we've got. We're going to preview this. Closing everything up again. I'm going to bring my light back, my camera back I should say, and looking good. Okay. So I can see now that the background probably not big enough to work, in a full screen way. Simply that background. I'm just going to stop that for a sec. I'm going to find my solid, and simply with that background I'm going to scale that up in a big way, very big way, in the space bar. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so there's lights with cameras. I'm going to hit the tilde bar and have a look at that and admire our work. So there is a light and a camera working together to achieve a very cinematic, visually arresting kind of image. So look, I hope that was helpful. Please experiment with the lights and the cameras. Some of the effects we can achieve will be stunning. And look, I'll see you again in the next one. Bye now.